here's a breakdown of my poem inspired by If I Could Turn Back Time by Cher. So, a lot of us, we're still holding on to those people that we still miss or that we loved deeply. And if we could just turn back time and change the past, then they would still be a part of our lives. But we cannot change the past. And some of us feel the need to reach out and say how we feel, but some of us don't know how to, or it's just not so simple anymore. Now let's get started. So in the intro, I say, if I could turn back time, I would live my life from the start. The ones I miss would stay. Remember what I just said? There are some people that we still miss that we want back. And if we could just turn back time and live our lives from the start, we would meet again. The only thing is that we would make sure that they'd stay. And this is what Cher sings in the intro.
If I could turn back time,
If I could find a way, I'd take back all those words that hurt you, and you'd stay. Based on what I heard, I think that Cher was in a relationship and she was the one that ended it, but now she's starting to regret it and she wants this person back. So if she could just turn back time, that she wouldn't have said the words that she said and she wouldn't have done what she did. Next, we have the verse. And I say, lately I've been feeling so blue, still holding on to those I loved deeply, still wondering how life would be if we saw each other again, still thinking about what could have been if we were still together. Yes, a lot of times I still feel so blue, still thinking about the missing certain people that I've loved a long time ago, because some people you could never forget, and some people I loved very deeply, so they'll always be somewhere in my heart, and they'll cross my mind no matter what. Or some of us still feel people like they're actually there, even if they aren't. Sometimes we would create visions in our minds where we would see each other again. But how would we react if that were to happen in real life? If it's meant to happen, or if we lived in another universe where we would never leave each other's lives. And this is what Cher says in the first verse.
I don't know why I did the things I did. I don't know why I said the things I said.
Rise like a knife, it can cut deep inside. Words are like weapons, they wound sometimes. When you're in a relationship, sometimes the person that ended it will also be hurt, and they'll regret all the nasty words that they said and the wrongful doings that they did. And now they're also starting to miss the person that they hurt. I even added a second verse to my poem in which I said, still hurts like a knife, blood all over my heart, words spiraling in my head, contagious thoughts in my mind. Even if something or someone really hurt me in the past, even if it was a long time ago, or I got my heart broken, even now, it still really hurts. But I still miss people, and some will cross my mind no matter what. Next, this is what Cher sings in the pre-chorus and chorus. I didn't wanna see you go, I know I made you cry, but baby, if I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd take back all those words that hurt you, and you'd say, if I could reach the stars, I'd give them all to you. Then you love me like you used to do. Even words hurt sometimes, and even though the wounds can heal, the scars are still there. So there are permanent damages from some things that hurt us in the past, even if they're a long time ago. And even if it was possible to turn back time, then we could prevent certain things from happening and make sure certain people will remain in our lives and we wouldn't have gone through all the pain that we went through, and no one will ever get hurt. Now, in the pre-chorus and chorus, I said, I never wanted it to be this way. I never thought it would end like this. I never wished for this to happen. So if I could turn back time, I would live my life from the start. The ones I miss would stay. I would fix things with the ones I loved deeply. If I could reach the stars, all those dreams would come true. All those words would become my reality. Remember what I said in the intro about some people we'll always be holding on to and we still miss, that we still want back? Well, that's the first part of the chorus. And then when I say I would fix things with the ones I loved deeply, I would make sure that we would have a better relationship, one that actually lasts. And every dream that we've had of each other, the good dreams, they would become our reality. They would come to life. And even the words that we would say. Well, the good parts, the good conversations, the deep conversations, every happy conversation would also come true. Now let's dive in for part 2. So in the verse, I say, my heart was broken, I was shattered, like I was stabbed on the chest. Nostalgic moments in my head, perfect dreams in my sleep, wishing they were real. So a lot of times when I lost someone that I really loved, it broke my heart. I was shattered and also cried about it. Even now, if I'm thinking about us too much and I'll start to miss us. And have you ever had someone in your life that you truly loved so deeply that you would have certain dreams of them in your mind as if they were perfect and that they would come true? Because in another life, our relationship would be perfect and we would last forever. And that's what I'm trying to explain. If we lived in that kind of fantasy world, and we would never be apart, we would never have to miss each other, we would never go through the pain that we did, because we would always be in each other's lives. And every day, week, month, and year that will go by, we'll keep growing closer in our relationship. And here's what Cher sings in the verse.
My world was shattered, I was torn apart. Like someone took a knife and drove it deep in my heart. You walked out that door, I swore that I didn't care. But I lost everything, darling, there.
When you lose someone, it is very hard and heartbreaking and sad because you love that person so much. And if the other person felt the same way, why did it end in the first place? Because now everyone's world is shattered and you're still going to miss each other because you lost each other, and now you're trying to look for somebody new. But even if you try to do that, but even if you try to move on, there's always going to be that one person that you'll always miss. Then, in the pre-chorus, this is what I say. If it were simple, I would say how I really feel. If it were easy, I would go back and fix things. I still think of people too. I still dream of others too, and still holding on to. But to say how I truly feel, it's not so simple anymore. And if you could go back, which in reality you can't, you can go and fix things with the one that you lost, that you still miss. But how can you do that right now? Because why did it end in the first place? If we had just worked things out and hadn't ended it, then we would still be a part of each other's lives. And lastly, listen to the original pre-chorus. Just remember what I just said. Even if you miss somebody and you realize that you were wrong and you want to say sorry and say how you truly feel, and vice versa, it's not so simple anymore. You're just gonna live your life and try again with someone new. But who knows, maybe you'll bump into each other one day and you will sit and chat and work things out. I don't know. But whatever's meant to be will happen. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please like, comment, and follow. And I'll see you in the next one.